This is Your Life. This is Eamon Andrews, and for the next few minutes I am the hooded monster, or words thereabouts, and my intention is to gate crash a studio call, a photo call for grapplers, wrestlers that's taking place in the London Room, which is part of this building, and I've got to get there in time to get close to somebody, sort of daddy of the grunt and groan business, but to get in and get close to him, I need some camouflage. Now, my camouflage takes the shape of three sporting gentlemen. Gorgeous George, Hendo Nagasaki, and Giant Haystack. Come on, boys, I feel quite safe. Especially you, Giant, I need now.
I'm doing it. All together, on cue. I didn't know there was so much in it into that camera up there. Ready? I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3. Now. How was that? Terrible. One more time?
Yes. Out of tune.
Right. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
I didn't know there was so much in it.
You. Can you three guys get yourselves in? Because we're running a bit.
Well, I guess you know everyone here except the hooded monster.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, let's meet. Because star of wrestling, Big Daddy of them all, known to millions of wrestling fans as Big Daddy. Tonight, this is your life.
On this show again,
Absolutely serious. And as the boys know, we have a whole theater of people waiting for you just next door. You've got time. Pat's there with your coat and everything else to put it on and change into the, the normal.
Thank you very much.
While I introduce your pals to the audience there, all right?
Thank you.
We just got seconds to spare. Jump into your pants and we're ready to go.
Smash it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Come on, let's go. Come to grips with my co-conspirators, every one of them a wrestling star. You've just met Giant Haystacks, Hendo Nagasaki, Gorgeous George, Mal Superstar Sanders, Bobby Barnes, Sinclair, Tony Sinclair, Gareth Royal, Vic Faulkner, Jimmy Blake, Steve Gray, Pete Roberts, Mike Marino, Alan Dennison, Dave Bond, Wayne Bridges, Johnny Quango, Pete Tallyho, Kay, Mal Kojak, Kirk, Sig Bruno, Erlington, and Goldbelt Maxine. And the man about whom it's all about, Big Daddy.
You've got a good seat, haven't you? There we are. Well, that's your seat there. What is
Gentlemen, thank you very much. And Big Daddy, as you're known to millions of television viewers and wrestling fans up and down the country, this is your life. And here's Big Daddy when he was just a little baby. And of course, Big Daddy, you've had quite a problem to wrestle with all your life, and by that I mean your Christian name, which is what?
Shirley.
It's Christian name. Shirley it is. Traditionally, of course, a man's name in your family in Yorkshire, yes?
Yes, it is.
Well, the little boy called Shirley Crabtree, eldest of 3 brothers, brought up by your late mill worker mother at number 5 Wilson Street, Halifax, is today very much a successful main event attraction. And here's Shirley Big Daddy Crabtree in action. Back there to notch up another victory using sheer guts. Now you were, of course, wearing one of your wrestling outfits which have helped make you such an outstanding figure in the ring.
And he's very particular about them being a nice fit to show off his fuller figure.
Of course, not only your costume maker, but also your wife, Eunice.
Little moment. Hello, darling.
With children, Paul, Linda, and 9-year-old Jane, and from St. Helens, their grandparents, Alfred and Emily Bowles. Eunice, as you have to take the measurements, does Shirley's figure alter very much?
Well, between 20 and 23 stone.
I see. And what about the weekend food? Shopping must be quite a problem.
Oh, well there, we don't take a car to the supermarket, we borrow a lorry and we fill it up. It's enough to fill a hotel.
Hey, what about him over there?
Jane, I'm sure that you'll be a familiar face to some of our viewers.
I lead him into the ring as his mascot, and he always wins when I'm there.
Well done. Well, now, back in your own childhood, Big Daddy, in Halifax, times were hard as your mother struggled to bring up her family on a meager middle wage. And one Christmas, more than 30 years ago, because she's no money for presents, the Salvation Army calls at your home to play Father Christmas.
And I don't know if he remembers, but we all do. They brought a very unusual present for our big brother.
Your brothers Max and Brian, and your half-brothers Jeremy, and the wives of Max and Brian, Beryl and Susan.
Thank you.
Now, Max, tell me, what was your present that year the Salvation came round?
Well, Eamon, I remember it well. I received a lovely train set, and Brian got some lovely toy soldiers.
What else did you get, Brian?
I also got a Meccano set in.
And Max, what was the present your big brother here received?
Unfortunately, it was a beautiful dolly.
And the girls' annual.
And the girls' annual. How did you react to those presents, do you remember?
Absolutely choked. The Salvation Army did a wonderful job. It was very nice.
And Brian, you're a former wrestler, now very well known in the ring as a referee. Apart from that present, do you recall Big Daddy here suffering from his Christian name as a youngster?
At that time, in the cinema world, there was a very famous star called Shirley, and it was Shirley Temple.
Yes, it was a bad time to be called Shirley. Well, those early school days, anyhow, are spent at Pellon Lane Junior School, and like other children, you're warned every day by your mother not to lose a very valued possession.
Hey, Shirley, you haven't lost your hanky, have you?
He was at school with you back in the 1930s, former rugby league star Jack Wilkinson. Jack, what's all this about his hanky?
Well, Eamon, it's rather hard to bring to light now, but in the 30s, in the hard days there, a linen handkerchief was quite something, and possibly not something to just stick in your pocket. And I remember to this day that Shirley and I, going to school at the age of 5, with these handkerchiefs pinned with a huge safety pin on our woolen jerseys, so we didn't lose them. And I'll bet to this day that if Shirley had lost his, that he'd have lost he'd have lost every pinfall with his mother. I'm sure of that.
Thank you, Jack Wilkinson. Your sport at school, in fact, is rugby. Yes. But you leave school at 14, and right away, to bring a much-needed boost to the family income, you start work as a doffer at Ackroyd's Worsted Spinning Mill in Halifax. As a doffer, what did that mean, Shirley? What did you do?
Well, it was. I used to take the bobbins off, and the ones that was full underneath, I would lift the cap off and put the other one on, and then I'd take them off, put them in a tub, and take them to the twisters to make into yarn.
Well, not an easy life for a boy of 14, but you're always ready to try and put a chuckle into the monotony of the long day. And one such day, you're walking past a huge lump of wool waste when you see one of the women workers busy at her machine. You stop, pick up the lump of waste, and not for the first time, score a direct hit. For a split second, she wonders what it is, and you run as she sets off after you.
And if I catch up with you, young Shirley Crabtree, I'll biff you on your buns with your bobbins.
From that day, 35 years ago, and she's here, now Mrs. Jansiuskus, but knew you her as Alice Stead.
In Yorkshire.
Alice, when you set out after him that day, having pitched the waste at you, did you catch him?
Oh yes, I caught him, but it was such a charmer that
Thank you.
I never did, I never hit him. And he was so popular, and that was it, he just used to get away with it.
Mind you, I think there was a bit more to it than that, because you were also fellow conspirators when the boss was on the prowl.
Oh yes, he was a weightlifter then, and he used to lift me up to see if the boss was coming. And if the boss was coming, he'd drop me. Yes, that's right, didn't he, Shirley? And I bet you couldn't do it now.
Hey, I don't know, I'll have a
Gave her a bit of a shock, but an enjoyable shock. Well, for your weightlifting training, you go to a gym in nearby Bradford, and there, here you are, picture with Max at the time. And going to that gym changes the whole course of your life, for it's not only weightlifting you learn.
Remember, Shirley, that's where I taught you your first wrestling horse.
The owner of that Bradford gym, International Rugby League star and heavyweight champion wrestler, Sandy Orford.
You just told him a good idea.
Yes, I did that, yes.
Well, Sandy, I suppose you could, but that's quite a few years ago. Now, how do you remember the young Crabtree?
He was one of those slim, tall boys. He came to train at my gymnasium, but I couldn't get him to train. All he wanted to do was to drink milk.
Why did he want to drink milk?
Well, you see, he was a fanatic on these foods.
Didn't want to put on too much weight, I suppose.
No, he didn't want to put on too much weight. But you see, he was a small, thin boy then. But I don't know since. He must have been making up all the chip butties he lost.
Excuse me, this man, Eamon, has the proud distinction of bumping our old man and me as well. He knows that, doesn't he? You can crack him, man.